rise of ISIS is a pressing issue. This group formed from the ashes of Al-Qaeda, a terrorist group. This was Iraq's problem, but the United States intervened in 2006. Then in 2011, when the United States left Iraq, they created a problem. By leaving Iraq, the United States removed their army, a prominent player of defense in this delicate house of cards. When the United States left, the Iraqi government fell. Maliki, the ruler of Iraq, became nervous and grew suspicious of his Sunni members and those in his government. Sunni leaders in the army and government were replaced with Shia officials. In 2012, thousands of Sunnis were arrested. This began the horrendous massacre of the Sunni people. ISIS became the group they are today by moving up to Syria in 2011 from 2012. In Syria, ISIS recruited young men who had been imprisoned. Their message was to wage war against the government of Maliki. Abu Bakr al-Baghdadi, who would later become the leader of ISIS, sent some of his men into Syria to join the rebel forces fighting against the Shia government and break down Syria. The movement was growing stronger, and with the breakdown of Syria, ISIS became the most powerful group in the area. Multiple protests began to happen in Ramadi, Baghdad, Jordan, and in Sunni cities and towns such as Fallujah, Mosul, and Tikrit. Wealthy businessmen were supporting the Sunni protests in Mosul, but in Baghdad, Shias were supporting Maliki. Back in Syria, Al-Qaeda's momentum kept growing, and their traditional Al-Qaeda flag began to appear at these protests, and these leaders began to call themselves ISIS. The Sunni people were clearly out of options. A prison, Abu Ghraib, located right outside of Baghdad, was attacked, and this causes the Iraqi government to realize that they needed help. ISIS was just too powerful for them. Iraq began to beg for help from the United States. In late October 2013, Obama gave little aid to Iraq. Attacks continued to occur by Maliki against the Sunni people. The Sunni people fight against Maliki, and ISIS sees this as an opportunity. Only 800 ISIS members were needed when taking over Mosul, a city of 1.8 million people. ISIS' plan was to establish state, not just a group of people, but a community of people ready to fight. The United States said they would give more aid if Maliki stepped down as prime minister. But this U.S. aid only added to the number of deaths, and now deaths of American citizens. The United States declared more help, and ISIS only continued to retaliate. The new prime minister, Haider al-Abadi, a Shiite, got Sunni tribesmen to turn against ISIS, but without trust between the Shia and the Sunni, no progress was made. Now Obama may have to reconsider his declaration of war, where he said he would not send U.S. troops back to Iraq. For the Republican primary debate, Jeb Bush stated that Obama abandoned Iraq when asked about Iraq, stating that if he had been president, the problems in Iraq would not be what they are today, leading one to assume that today many of our beloved troops would still be in Iraq. Rand Paul claimed that he can beat ISIS by not supplying weapons to the enemy.